You heard the bass drop. You know what that means. It's time for another edition of the Stardom Situm Show. I am Marcus Grant. I'm joined by Michael F. Florio. We go through his entire Stardom Situm column, which you can find at NFL.com/startsit. These are not predictions. These are like
guarantees.
Guarantees. That's exactly what they are. These are the guys that you want to start and that you want to sit. There's no way that any of these could ever be wrong because nothing in fantasy is ever wrong. We got the top starts and sits of week 4, some of our biggest questions, and going to put on the Axe body spray and take another trip into Club Dub for the week. So let's start with the quarterback board. Your top starts and sits at the quarterback position this week. Florio, let us know who you got.
Some quarterbacks that you might not expect as starts: Daniel Jones, Russell Wilson, Brock Purdy, and I'm sticking with Justin Fields here. Some sits too, some big names. I need to see Joe Burrow be Joe Burrow again before I want to trust him, especially in this matchup. CJ Stroud, I think this is a big test for him. If he passes, good for you. You got to start every week. Deshaun Watson, and then Kenny Pickett. I know he had a big game last week. Don't do the Kenny Pickett thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's been kind of rough for Kenny Pickett so far this season. Let's talk about some of these guys on your list. Let's start with Russ Wilson. I started to buy in at the end of the preseason that maybe Russ could be resurrected. There are a lot of issues in Denver. He doesn't seem to be one of them.
No, he is maybe the only one playing good ball right now in Denver for the Broncos. He has thrown for over 300 passing yards in 2 straight games, has multiple passing touchdowns in 2 out of his 3. He reminded us a couple weeks ago, like, hey, when you guys need me to run, I still can. And then the Bears. I mean, they've allowed the 5th most passing yards, 3rd most passing touchdowns, and they've given up somewhere between 27 and 41 points in every game they've played this year. I'm not a mathematician or anything, but that seems like a pretty big number.
That seems bad. Yeah, exactly. So Russell Wilson back in play against the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, the guy on the other side, it's been a rough start to the year for Justin Fields, but he gets to face a defense that gave up 70 points. I don't know if you heard about that. But Justin Fields, we're still hanging in there with him, huh?
Yeah, they gave up 70 real-life points to the Dolphins, and everyone is talking about that. But I'm like, did you guys miss the week before when they gave up 35 to the Commanders? To Sam Howell? I mean, and look, Justin Fields started running more last week, which I like. I still want him to run the ball even more than he has been, but this is all about the matchup. The Broncos have allowed the 4th most passing yards, the most rushing yards, the most passing touchdowns, and the most rushing touchdowns in the NFL. I don't know if this is as bad of a coaching job as last year or not, Sean Payton, but you have not been getting the job done so far. This is a great get-right spot for Justin Fields and your Bears. I'm giving him one more shot. But if he disappoints this week, then it's very different moving forward with Justin Fields.
I would say that Nathaniel Hackett is somewhere thinking about that quote and sipping tea, but Nathaniel Hackett has his own issues that he's got to worry about in New York with the Jets. CJ Stroud has had a great start to his rookie season this year. 121 pass attempts, has yet to throw an interception, 4 touchdowns. But now he's got to deal with TJ Watt in that Steelers pass rush. That makes me a little nervous.
And that's exactly why I have him as a sit this week. CJ Stroud is someone you want on your roster. Just double check, make sure he's not on your waiver wire because you want to have him. You just don't want to start him this week. Coming into the NFL, I thought the one thing that CJ Stroud struggled with in college was when he was under pressure. Right now, so far this season, Next Gen Stats ranks him 26 of 35 quarterbacks while under pressure. And his completion percentage under pressure drops to 53.3%. Why do I keep talking about under pressure? The Steelers generate pressure 38% of the time and have the 3rd highest sack rate in the NFL. Jimmy G was not sacked the first 2 weeks. I think they got him 5 or 6 times last week. This is not a defensive line to get cute with.
CJ Stroud rostered in just 31% of NFL.com leagues. He's a great pickup and stash. The bye weeks begin in week 5. You're going to need help there at some point this season. Go get CJ Stroud while you can. So we got the guys throwing the football. Let's take a look at some of the guys catching the football. Your starts and sits for wide receivers. Who you got?
I'm rolling with both Bengals wide receivers still. I know they've been up and down, but too much upside to get away. Calvin Ridley in a revenge game across the pond. DJ Moore because Broncos, and then Tank Dell, who's been great. Some sits. It pains me to say, but DeAndre Hopkins, Garrett Wilson, 2 early round picks there, and then Johan Dotson, and then Kendrick Bourne to round it out.
So you mentioned Tank Dell, and when we talk about a team tanking, usually it's because they are, sabotaging themselves. But with the Texans, talking about tanking seems to have a whole different meaning.
I've been trying all week to find a tank pun, and you just knocked it out of the park
Thanks.
right there. Tank Dell has been playing great football as of late. He's been the Texans' top target 2 weeks in a row, and he scored over 20 fantasy points in each of those games. You're seeing here how explosive he is. I've talked about it on this show in the past about how great of a red zone option he is. And then just to let you know, he was tackled on the 1 yard line on a play, and then he got another touchdown called back due to a holding penalty. So as great as he has been the last 2 weeks, he could have been even better. I think you just want to keep riding with your Texans receivers, even though I'm not so sure about how CJ Stroud could perform this week.
Yeah, it was pointed out to me, and I had forgotten about this, that CJ Stroud actually requested that they go out and draft Tank Dell. So maybe we should factor that in when we're talking about putting him in lineups. DeAndre Hopkins, he goes to Tennessee. We were worried about the passing game, but I think the consensus was, well, he's DeAndre Hopkins. He's going to be fine. Through 3 weeks, he hasn't really been fine. I'm worried about it.
I'm very worried as well. And he saw 13 targets in week 1, and we were like, okay, the production will come. But then he's seen 7 or fewer targets in each of the last 2 games. His catch rate on catchable targets right now is 82%. Yet his overall catch rate is 56%. So most of the throws going his way are just uncatchable right now. His yards per route ran, everything is the lowest it's been since 2017. It's not his fault. He is still a good talent, but Ryan Tannehill and this Tennessee Titans offense is just dragging everyone down with it right now.
They've got a bad offensive line, and we saw what the Bengals did to the Rams offensive line last week. That seems like bad news for Ryan Tannehill. Meanwhile, Garrett Wilson. I had to pause because I felt the sadness welling up inside me. I have rosters that have both Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson, and I'm pretty much ready to punt on them at this point in the season. They're playing the Chiefs. I feel like the only highlight for the Jets is that Taylor Swift might be there. I mean, please, is there a way to make me feel better about this?
If you're starting Garrett Wilson right now, you are hoping for a big play or garbage time, and probably a big play in garbage time, because this is going to get out of hand fast, I think, with the Chiefs. And last week, Garrett Wilson just gave you less than 10 fantasy points. He wasn't a top 40 wide receiver. He's made 2 great plays this year. Outside of those 2 plays, it has been really rough. It is not his fault, but the Chiefs have allowed the 4th fewest fantasy points to wide receivers. And this is going to be a game, Marcus, where we should probably keep count. What are we going to see more? Taylor Swift on our screen or Zach Wilson completions?
Ooh. I'm going to go with Zack Wilson completions, but not by a lot.
I'll take Taylor Swift just for fun.
I don't love that I have to have my my fantasy wide receiver be a sanitation engineer in order for me to get points. That just seems like a whole bad deal. Speaking of people that you beg for fantasy points from, we're going to talk about tight ends next. Also, a vibe check. Let you know how we're feeling about some of your biggest fantasy questions. That's coming up after the break here on the Stardom Sit-Up Show. Let's talk some Stardom Sit-Em tight ends. Who you got?
Darren Waller and Pat Fryermuth are my starts. There's 2 missing because they played on Thursday night. And then some sits. Kyle Pitts across the pond. We got to sit. Zach Ertz in a tough matchup. David Njoku just has not got enough volume. And talking about no volume, Dalton Schultz is the face of that right now.
Kyle Pitts, man. Kyle Pitts, man. Let's start on the good, though, with Darren Waller. It's been sort of up and down for him. I guess the good news is that he is consistently getting a lot of targets, and you like the matchup this week against the Seahawks.
And the matchup is the whole thing, and I understand he's had 2 down weeks right now, but if you polled a lot of people and asked them what the 2 toughest defenses in the NFL are right now, most would say the Cowboys and 49ers, who is exactly who Darren Waller has gone up against. In his other game, he finished as the tight end 4, and now he gets a much better matchup. The Seahawks have allowed the 6th most yards to tight ends, and last season they allowed the most fantasy points to the position. Do not panic yet. In fact, if the person with Waller is panicking, go out and try to trade for him, I would say.
I still sort of believe in Darren Waller, but I do think the Giants switch some things up. I think they get Wan'Dale Robinson more involved. I think they get Jalen Hyatt involved as well, but Darren Waller's still the number 1 guy in that passing attack. All right, let's just get this over with. We're going to talk about Kyle Pitts. He gets to face the Jaguars this week. I guess the good thing is 33% of his career touchdowns have come in London, right?
That's not good.
That's got to count for something, please.
That's all we really have to go on right now when it comes to Kyle Pitts. Last week, it was the best matchup a tight end could have. He gave you the same amount of fantasy points as Jamus Smith. On Fantasy Live this week, I both threw a Kyle Pitts shirt. I compared his quarterback play to the Inferno in Toy Story. It has been rough for Kyle Pitts, and that's the thing. It is not Kyle Pitts. It's partly Arthur Smith, but it's also the quarterbacks. 53% of his targets have been uncatchable so far this season. That's after last season was 59%. And if you listen to anything all off season, I was like, it's got to get better for Kyle. Nope. It's just been just as bad as it was last season.
I just don't understand why. I don't know if Kyle Pitts kicked Arthur Smith's dog or what. I just don't understand why they can't get him involved. And I feel like last week was the worst case scenario because it was a great matchup. And he was just meh. Like if he was great, you could build off of that. If he was terrible, you could just be like, all right, well, it's over. Like he was just meh. And so now you're like, well, now what do? I got this bowl of oatmeal sitting on my roster and I just can't do anything with it. That's where we are with Kyle Pitts now. All right, that's been our Kyle Pitts rant of the week. Let's talk about some Zach Ertz here, though. He's getting a lot of love in terms of targets there in Arizona. He and Marquise Brown have pretty much been it for Josh Dobbs, but ... 49ers.
And that's exactly why I want to sit Zach Ertz this week. The first 2 weeks were great. Week 3, not so much, but this is all about the matchup. The 49ers on the season have allowed 62 yards to tight ends, which is extremely impressive no matter who they faced, but even more so considering they have faced Darren Waller, Pat Freiermuth, and Tyler Higbee, 3 very capable tight ends. So you just don't get cute, don't stream against the 49ers. I would go in another direction.
I do weirdly sort of think that Marquise Brown has a little bit of value this week just because they're going to be playing from behind and maybe throwing, and he's kind of been a deep shot guy in this offense, so maybe he gets some chunk plays, but it's not going to be pretty. If you're starting those guys, I would advise you not watching it because it's just going to be frustrating. Time now for a little segment we like to call How We Feeling, where we rip through some guys that are getting asked about a lot on social media websites and let you know if they should be in your lineups this week. So, Florio, let's start with Cedarian Lamb of the Dallas Cowboys. Are you starting him? How are you feeling about him against the Patriots?
It's a tough matchup against the Patriots. You hear all the time that Bill Belichick likes to take away opposing teams' best weapons. Don't know if it'll be Pollard or Lamb there, but CeeDee Lamb has shown us he has a very safe floor of double-digit fantasy points. Still has that one massive game already this year. I just want him to score a touchdown because it's almost a month and he hasn't scored one yet.
Yeah, it's a little bit frustrating. Dak Prescott not really helping the issue with his inconsistent play. For me, Jerome Ford against the Ravens. I don't love the matchup. And I don't know about the volume. I'm a little bit nervous about it. We saw a lot more of Kareem Hunt last week than I think a lot of us anticipated. I thought if anything slowed Jerome Ford down, it'd be the Titans' run defense. I didn't think it would be that we'd see Kareem Hunt and even Pierre Strong as much as we did. Ford is still the RB1 in this offense, but it's apparent he's not going to get anything close to the volume that Nick Chubb was going to get. So if you can get away from him, maybe you do that, but I know running back is sort of a sticky spot right now. We've been talking about Michael Pittman and how he's doing with the Colts. What about Josh Downs against the Rams? How you feel?
He is not someone I want to be starting. I'm okay having him on my roster. He brings a lot of upside. He's the lead slot guy there. But he had 13.7 fantasy points last week with Gardner Minshew. He had 13.7 fantasy points in the first 2 games combined with Anthony Richardson. So want to see him and Richardson be on the same page before I consider starting him.
So Josh Downs, kind of a nope. How about Josh Kelly going against the Raiders at SoFi Stadium? And for me, that's going to be a no for me, dog. Part of it is just him being inefficient the last couple of weeks with Austin Eckler out. I think it's 51 yards on 24 carries. That's just no bueno. On top of it, there is talk that Austin Eckler could come back to play this week. Now, Eckler less than 100%, so you might see more Kelly than you would on a normal week, but it's not going to be enough for him to really get, I think, a big number fantasy-wise. So if you can avoid Josh Kelly, which you probably can, I would do that, even against the Raider defense. Speaking of running backs who have underperformed, Derrick Henry. What about El Tractorcito against the Bengals?
He bounces back this week, I think. He was the RB8 the first 2 weeks of the season, just had a down week 3. And again, I don't really think it's all on him. I think it's more on the state of this offense right now. But the Bengals are a good matchup. They have allowed the second most rushing yards coming into week 4 at over 150 per game. And if Joe Burrow struggles, this will be a close game, which means a favorable game script for Derrick Henry. You can't keep Kings down for too long.
So Derrick Henry, hopefully back on the good foot. Meanwhile, Josh Jacobs, or as Ron Burgundy may say, Josh Jacobs, it's a soft J, against the Chargers. I am on board, and I know it has not been the greatest start to the season for Josh Jacobs. It just feels like he's sort of ramping up, as though the first 3 weeks of the season have been the preseason. And I guess for him it has been, because he didn't get to work out with the team. A season-high 62 rushing yards last week. I think he really gets going against a Charger run defense that has been pretty awful, actually, for the last couple of years. So I feel okay about Josh Jacobs. Speaking of running backs, we will dive into some starts, sits at that position after the break. Plus, heading to Club Dub. So stick around for more of the Start of the City show. Stardom, Sid'em running backs for week 4. Florio, walk us through it.
Both Dolphin running backs are in play this week. Alvin Kamara, he's back for the Saints. He should be back in your starting lineups. And I'm sticking with James Cook, who has been really good despite not scoring a touchdown. And then some sits. Brian Robinson Jr. just because of game script. Breece Hall because of Jets. And Gus Edwards in a tough matchup against the Browns.
All right, let's get through some of these. Devon Achane, you mentioned him. I mean, he and the Dolphins just went nuclear last week against the Denver Broncos. How do you feel about him against the Bills' run defense that has not given up a touchdown on the ground this year?
That'll probably change this week, I think. I am excited to get both of the Dolphins running backs, Mostert and I almost said Achane again, Achane, into your lineup there. Look, they both just went for over 45 fantasy points. We know the upside that they each bring, but the Bills have allowed a league-high 5.9 yards per carry to running backs this season, and I can tell you firsthand they particularly struggle against speed, and this backfield is built off speed. So I'm excited to get both of these Dolphins running backs into my lineup in what is going to be a score fest.
A-Chan, 4-Chan, Shin-Chan, all of them entertaining at this point. Alvin Kamara going against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, making his return after a 3-game suspension. I have lots of lineups that I am excited to put him in. How are you feeling about him this week?
Just like you, I have a lot of lineups where I am excited to put Alvin Kamara in there. And given the state of the running back position, I'm sure many of you out there are in the same position. And coming into week 3, the Bucs run defense did look tough. And then DeAndre Swift got him for $130. The Eagles as a team went for over 200. And Alvin Kamara, he knows this run defense very well. He has scored 10 career touchdowns against them. There's a bunch of volume up for grabs right now in that backfield with Jamal Williams sideline. I am very, very excited to start Alvin Kamara.
Through 3 weeks, the Saints' leading rusher is Taysom Hill with 91 yards. That means they need somebody to run the football. If I can make a request, though, Jamus Winston, how about you mix in a few dump-offs, too? I mean, we love the YOLO balls. How about we get a few short throws to Alvin Kamara? That would be great. I had a moment of sadness earlier in this show for Garrett Wilson. I should probably have another moment of sadness right now for Breece Hall. Are we just going to just pour one out for him, or is there hope this week?
This week, I think you got to pour one out for Breece Hall and sit him, because week 1, he opened up great with those 2 long runs. Since then, he has scored single-digit fantasy points in his last 10 quarters played. He got more volume last week, still only turned it into 27 yards. The Chiefs have allowed the 4th fewest fantasy points to running backs. And then you add in that Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce are on the other side with the extra motivation of Taylor Swift watching them. They are going to put up a lot of points, I think. The Jets are going to be playing catch-up, which means they probably have to abandon the run.
All right, we are happy to welcome in researcher, Rams fan, and jack of all trades, Laquan Jones. You can find him on Twitter at Real Deal Fantasy. Welcome to the show, man.
What's going on, man? Glad to be here.
We're happy to have you here. So we wanted to bring you in, talk about some guys that absolutely have to be in lineups this week. So please, if you would like, give us your must-start 5 of the week.
Yeah, I mean, starting at 5, Evan Ingram. I think this is a game where you can start all your Jags players confidently, and Evan Ingram is a solid play this week versus the Falcons. Falcons are tied 4th in the most receptions allowed to tight ends this season, and he's coming off of back-to-back games with 8 targets and a healthy target share. I like his upside. tied this week. Coming in at number 4, I got Adam Thielen versus the Vikings, the revenge game. Thielen's going to go out there to show that old man Thielen still got the juice. Vikings are allowing the 3rd most fantasy points per game to wide receivers and allowing the 2nd highest completion percentage at 76%. Thielen remains the target hog of this offense with a healthy 20% target share. Following the volume here for sure. Coming in at number 3, I got Tank Dell going up against his Pittsburgh secondary. I'm buying into this rookie hype. Back-to-back games, Dell has had over 70 receiving yards and has found the end zone in each of those games. A lot of this is motivated on how CJ Stout and this Texans offense has been clicking, hoping this rookie-to-rookie connection remains strong this week. Coming in at number 2, T. Higgins is a start for me against this Titans defense. You could say I'm buying into this conspiracy theory that he's on a hot and cold streak right now. This Titans defense would be the game for Higgins to bounce back. Titans have allowed the 4th most fantasy points per game to wide receivers this season. Here, I'm banking on the talent for Higgins to show up and show out. Coming at number 1, I got Jakobi Meyers versus the Chargers. He's probably the most underrated wide receiver in the game right now. He's balling out and every time he's on the field, and he's currently wide receiver 5 right now in points per game. This Raiders offense is looking like it's running through him and Devontae Adams. He's holding his own. This is a bad Chargers defense right now, which is allowing the most touchdowns, yards, and fantasy points per game to wide receivers. So I'm loading up Jakobi Meyers no matter who's the quarterback on Sunday.
Yeah, I really love Jakobi Meyers this week. I hope it's Jimmy Garoppolo, but if it's Brian Hoyer, even Aiden O'Connell, I think there's still some opportunity for Meyers against the Bolts. Hey, let's put on our Buffalinos we just got from Oak Tree. We are going to Club Dub. We're going to open up the ropes and see who's going to score us 25 or more fantasy points this week. So, as the guest, the floor is yours. Who's getting into Club Dub this week?
Listen, we're going Derrick Henry. Listen, the King returns back to the club like he's never left. I mean, tough game last week against the Browns, but listen, this is the bounce back game he needs against the Bengals, who haven't really faced a real running back threat these past 2 weeks. The key to victory to this game right now is to run the ball. Simple as that, and who else could you rely on to do it the best in this run-first offense, right? I mean, the first 2 weeks of football, the Bengals have allowed 9 rushes of 10-plus yards to running backs, which was tied 1st in the NFL at that time. The Bengals are currently tied 4th in the NFL in missed tackles as well, and we all know how hard it is to tackle the King. So I expect the Titans to lean on him and this offense to get back on track, so it's a full send for Derrick Henry this week.
Yeah, listen to Laquan. He has clubbed at DJs before, so he knows a thing or two about clubs. For me, I think it is this man's number 1 wide receiver, Keenan Allen, who is going to help you get into the club this week. Look, Keenan Allen has given you over 30 fantasy points in 2 straight games already. He is a target vacuum, and then he's now has no Mike Williams, so that could mean even more volume going his way. The Raiders give up a bunch of production. They've allowed the 2nd most touchdowns to wide receivers. Look, Keenan Allen can even throw touchdowns if he doesn't catch them. Keep riding with Keenan.
So I'm going to go with a guy, he hasn't been to the club in a while, but is always, he's always thinking about it at least, and that's Jamar Chase. It's been a rough start for the Bengals. They looked like they were ready to go clubbing, though, in those all-white unis last week against the Rams. Still, though, didn't quite work out. But this week, they have got the Tennessee Titans. That is a get-right game for passing games that are struggling, and certainly that does apply to the Cincinnati Bengals. Look, I guess I should be correcting myself because he did get into the club last week, 26 points. So maybe he's going to go back-to-back weeks. It's hard to go clubbing every single week. Sometimes you got to rest up. But when you haven't been there in a while, it's kind of fun to go in consecutive weekends. So I think Jamar Chase gets back in there. I think you see plenty of targets. And maybe he finally gets a big play and finally gets in the end zone because he has not done that. He's gotten in the club, hasn't gotten in the end zone. I think that happens for him in week 4 against the Tennessee Titans. So there you go. Those are the guys that'll have you clubbing and dancing and popping bottles coming up this weekend for your fantasy team. That's it. We appreciate you hanging out with us, Laquan, man. Hopefully we can get you back at some point.
Absolutely, man. I'm always free. I'm around the office just hanging out.
Awesome. We're just going to grab him from like the commissary and have him sit down and come do starts and sits for us. That'll do it for this edition of the Stardom Sit-'em Show. We appreciate you hanging out with us. For Laquan, for Florio, I am Marcus. Enjoy the weekend, everybody, and we'll talk to you again real soon.